At the same time, people have been arriving in eNCA with large numbers from different parts of the country, pledging loyalty and support to former President Jacob Zuma. They include ANC veterans as well as high-profile members. So our senior reporters are there to bring us the latest developments on this story. Siphamandla Goge joins us now in conversation. Spa, what has Mr. Zuma said about the ConCourt judgment?
Well, he says his lawyers will be basically dealing with the matter in court, as we understand that his application will be heard by the Constitutional Court on the 12th of July, that is in a week's time from now. So that gives him another week to fight and continue with his legal strategy here. But inside his home here in Nkandla, he has addressed some of his supporters, not a very large group, but a very small group comprising of his Nduna Amabuto and some political leaders who were inside there coming to see him and to hear his side of the story. So basically, former President Jacob Zuma has rehashed his political statements that he has made in the past. If I were to quote him on what he said when he was addressing those who were gathered inside his home, he said, "I don't know what I've done. I've been a victim for many years now. Yes, we are where we are now. We know that according to the Constitutional Court, he defied a court order to go back and appear at the State Capture Commission of Inquiry, the Zondo Commission, which has led to this 15-month sentence that has been meted against the former president." But he says he's been a victim. Interestingly, in that address, he did tell his supporters that we need to respect each other and we also need to respect the law, but the law must be fair. Justice must be done and must be seen to be done. So his speech was mainly about political conspiracy theories, saying he's the victim here, but not saying who's responsible for that. It's something he has been saying in the past. So that's what he said when he was addressing his supporters.
Yeah, and any word from ANC leaders who actually have met with Zuma?
Sihlezi Kalala, the chairperson of the eNCA in KwaZulu-Natal, says this judgment of the Constitutional Court has divided the nation. Sihlezi Kalala, together with Mtumseni Ntuli, the provincial secretary of the eNCA in KwaZulu-Natal, spent the better part of the day today engaging with former President Jacob Zuma. They have been tasked by the National Executive Committee of the governing party to come and have talks with former President Jacob Zuma. As to what end, it remains to be seen, because this was not their first engagement with the former president. They had another engagement to try and persuade him to appear before the Zondo Commission. He remained defiant, hence we are where we are today. But Sihlezi Kalala saying this has divided the nation. They are appealing to former President Jacob Zuma's supporters to be calm. We did ask him what he makes of this illegal political gathering here in the midst of a COVID-19 third wave. He says, well, it's not ideal that people are gathering here. Mtumseni Ntuli, the provincial secretary of the ANC, saying they will now convene a provincial executive committee meeting where they will brief PEC members of the ANC in KwaZulu-Natal. That meeting will be attended by national executive committee members of the ANC who have been dispatched to KwaZulu-Natal to help understand and ease the tensions regarding this ConCourt judgment, which has divided the governing ANC.
Also, on that note, police presence, how are we looking when it comes to police presence? You've made a very valuable point. We're still in the midst of a pandemic. And as we've seen with the various crossings you've had with our anchors throughout the day today, some people are not even wearing masks. There's no social distancing and the like. So in that sense, is there any enforcement of the law in itself?
Not at all. It's a shame, I can tell you that. Yes, earlier on today, I saw police cars patrolling, driving up and down this main road, which is outside former President Jacob Zuma. But they were not doing anything. They were just monitoring the situation, if I were to use that word, quote unquote. Other than that, we have not seen them raiding this place and arresting those who are breaking the lockdown regulations here. People were not socially distancing. They were not sanitizing. Others were not even wearing masks, And we know that under alert level 4, when the president announced that the country is reverting back to alert level 4 of the lockdown here due to this raging pandemic, it was said that political, social and other gatherings are not allowed. Yet here you have a political gathering. You have people coming all the way from Gauteng, Eastern Cape, Mpumalanga, the Free State, to come and basically be part of a political gathering. Police's top brass are monitoring what is happening here. The local police station at Katla doesn't have capacity to come and enforce the law here. They are very thin and outnumbered in terms of human resources and other resources. So for you to enforce the law here, you will need a serious backup and reinforcement from areas such as Melmoth, Ulundi, Empangeni to have public order policing coming here. But that has not happened and people are still here. There was a stage that has been erected. I'm not sure whether Bongamkize will be able to show you in the background what is happening. A stage has been erected. I see they are packing up now, but people were singing and dancing. Others are still here. No sign or no sight of police officers.
Siphamandla Goge, we'll leave it there. Our senior reporter just giving us the latest of what's happening in Nkandla. We're going to stay in Nkandla. We're going to go live now to our other senior reporter, Mtila. He joins us now, and also he's amongst the supporters who have gathered for President Jacob Zuma, that is former President Jacob Zuma. We see many supporters gathering, Aviwe. When are they expecting the former president to address them? I know that he said something to them a little bit earlier on. Is there anything that's going to be said about them going home, adhering to at least the curfew or COVID-19 regulations?
Well, it seems like that message that the former president won't be addressing them anymore is slowly trickling down, as they've even packed up the stage, the so-called truck that had a stage there with hundreds of them around that stage. But the issue now is just moving on to the street right in front of the president's homestead. There's a stretch of about 200 kilometers of cars here. You'd be forgiven for thinking it's some sort of street bash, with a lot of the hundreds that are on the street here not wearing any masks. I'll show you an idea of what it looks like if you just turn to the side of it there as you move towards the direction of the entrance that leads to the president's home. You'd see a lot of the people sitting around. There is some 50 just in this spot that we're showing you here. No masks, no social distancing measures. I actually want to catch up with a few of them just to understand the extent of the situation here. But I see you don't have a mask. We're in the middle of a third wave, 14 days.
I got it, a mask.
You've got it. Why aren't you wearing a mask given the severity of the pandemic that we're in? But you can see the majority outside here not complying, not wearing masks. It would seem like it's some sort of a street bash in and around here with the majority that are here. Even stretching forward here, you'd see the cars that are in front of us in their droves, the people around those, music playing, almost oblivious to the COVID-19 pandemic that we're under. In fact, the 14 days that we're in the middle of, that we've been put in under the presidency, no sign of the South African Police Service, at least for the last 4 hours that I've been around here. I haven't seen any of the police. In fact, they were here earlier on patrolling, and speaking to some of them, they feared what might happen if they did try to intervene. In fact, more specifically, if the president refused to hand himself over, as a ConCourt has suggested, fearing that it would be quite a mammoth task to go in and try to make the president account by taking them to jail, but nothing in terms of making those COVID-19 regulations comply. Nothing, no reinforcement whatsoever. Quite disappointing from the South African Police Service.
We'll leave it there. eNCA senior reporter Mtila giving us the latest from Nkandla. Support is one thing, I tell you, but not adhering to COVID-19 regulations in the midst of a third wave is a different thing altogether. While we